Hi, so if you can see the title below, this video is about Lilith in the 11th house. You might have this placement natally, progressively, transitionally, and let's get right into it. I'm not going to go into crazy details like I always do. I'm going to first explain about Lilith. It's really fast. So Lilith is Adam's original first wife. She and Adam both rose from the same dirt and soil and became humans. They were meant to procreate. The problem here was that she was not submissive. She was not willing to conform. Kind of makes sense because they're one and the same, really. They came from, there's no polarity. That wasn't really kept in mind, I think. Adam was not happy with her not being submissive, so he shamed her, casted her away, and she felt suppressed for being herself. Now, Adam pulled Eve out of his rib, and now he had his perfect wife and his perfect ideals in his mind about what a wife should look like. The thing about Adam is that he actually ended up liking Lilith energy. It is a sexual energy. It's more on the lustful side at times. It's a darker aspect, but he didn't want to look bad, and all the blame is now put onto her, hence why a lot of, I would say female, but also the feminine is, I guess it's stigmatized for being hypersexual, promiscuous, etc. But I'm not going to go into those details. Let's dive right into the natal. And if you want to know the difference with the natal and transits, the natal is a whole chapter in your life versus the transits are 9-month period. Lilith travels 9 months per zodiac sign. So you can't really miss this energy. You think you could avoid it, but you really can't. It's going to come towards you in some way. It's to show you to take back your power. It's not just the area of your life where you feel suppressed, shamed, embarrassed, etc., but it's the area of your life where you really have something powerful to show. And remember, power comes with responsibility. That's what Spider-Man says, and it's very real. So let's dive right into it. So natally, if you have this natally, this is giving me Winona Ryder. She has this placement actually, and everyone's experience is going to be a little bit different, so bear with me because this is just one example. So Winona Ryder, my cat's right here. Winona Ryder, she basically became famous, obviously, as we all know, but also has a bad reputation for shoplifting. I do think there's a reason why she did that. I feel like she's trying to escape from the collective and also from the role of being an actress, etc. So I definitely feel like there's things that you may judge on a person, or people might judge you, but you might be trying to escape or break free from something. And this is what it's giving me. Pretend you're in a group of friends at school. Let's say school. You don't have to be at school right now, or it could be at work, whatever you want to call it. And your friends, I'm putting the quotations with my hands if you're not watching this, but your friends are trying to lure you to that group and talking smack about you, or they're trying to get something out of you. They're trying to bring you down because it makes them feel better. Bully energy, really. This is what it's giving me. And there's going to come to a point where you're going to want to break away. You're going to be like, no more. And you're going to look like the bad guy for doing that. But I promise you, it's better. I know it's going to feel like, oh, everyone hates me. Everyone, like, who cares? I'm sorry, but it's not worth being around people who are sucking the living crap out of your energy like vampires. You don't need that. I'd rather use the hate fuel than the actual fake hate. So I feel like you're going to be that type of person growing up that you just don't like fake. You're not into that. Maybe you might come across that energy and suppress yourself, but along the lines in your life, you're going to find that you can't help but to break away. You just like, I'm not having this anymore. People are not going to want to see you shine bright. In fact, with Winona Ryder, I always thought she was so pretty, so pretty. I remember as a kid, I was like, I want to be pretty just like her. And the person next to me was like, she's eh. And I'm like, you ain't no prettier than her. No. In my head, I was like, I think you're just hating. But I definitely feel like you kind of remind me of Lilith in the first house, where you trigger a lot of people collectively. The difference with the first house is it's literally everyone and anyone in any of the houses that you can trigger. But in the 11th house, it's either friendship, drama, outcasting from a group. So that could be from social events such as school, work, college, that's still school, home, sometimes like your home as in your apartment community, etc. You would have to look at the house ruler and where is that connected to. So with Wyona, she has Libra and she has Venus in the 12th house. The ruler of Libra is Venus, and she definitely wanted to escape that social energy. And she has Neptune in the first house too. So there's a lot of like, whoa, like my identity is kind of like, I'm confused. I see myself in the magazines, but I don't feel like that's me. Like, is that me? Like, it's just very conflicting energy, especially with hers. That might not be the case for you, because remember, we don't all have those placements, but it does give you clues on how you can depict in your mind how it may actually make sense for you. It's easier to see things in a bigger picture, right? As a map, as a chart. So if I was you, really look into the house ruler, connect the dots, and also look in Saturn. Where's Saturn? Where's your enemies? Saturn tells you a lot with your enemies, and you can also look at maybe where Aquarius is. I don't want to link Aquarius with Lilith, but since Aquarius gives me the outcast energy where you feel misunderstood so much, Aquariuses can definitely really understand that feeling. You might even come across people who your true friends are the weird ones. It's kind of giving me the, what's that movie called? Wallflower or something. I never watched it, but Emma Watson is in it, and you find your crew, your people, but those people also have that Lilith energy. You guys can kind of trauma bond, or maybe even just truly understand being eccentric from the crowd. Now it could play in different ways. You might not even find your crew. You might just not have friends, period. I'm so sorry to break it to anyone who feels like they really want friends, and you can have friends, but it might be a very small circle, as in like one friend in your whole entire life kind of energy. And this is something I've learned, and it might help you. I used to have this one-on-one best friend dynamic thing my whole life, and I kind of felt like I needed to break away from that, because I always felt suppressed in all of those relationships that I ended up with my feelings or anything. But I always found people that made me feel a little subservient, just slightly. Now, that wasn't the case for every single friendship that I had, but there's always some kind of feeling where I didn't feel, I would pick specific people to make me feel smaller. It could have had to do with a lot with my childhood, but I definitely felt like I didn't really get to explore the dark side of myself. So I feel like in your case, you might have to break away from certain friendships to really dive deep into what it is and who you are and what you personally like. Perhaps you were scared of being edgy or bohemian or girly, or whatever the case is. If you're a guy, maybe you were scared to venture off of the luxurious life, or venture off of the skater life, the whatever it is that you identified in your community. Maybe you just wanted to do things differently. Maybe your friends would have never understood you for liking astrology, because I know guys are not into that, but there's some guys that do like it, and sometimes their friends might be like, bro, like that's for girls, like just shush. Every time I hear like something's for guys and girls, I'm like, shush. Like, shush, 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 shush. Because I I think people who can tap into both sides of things definitely can see the bigger picture in a lot of things and have a very open mind, which I love. I genuinely love. But I definitely feel like instead of finding and just only breaking away from certain groups or friendships, best friend energy, communities that you identified with before, also be your own best friend. You don't have to you don't have to have a best friend. Sometimes you are your best friend. That's just how it works. Sometimes your lover is your best friend and that's good enough. Sometimes it's just peaceful that way, and maybe your friends are your family instead. It can go in many different ways, but you don't have to identify in a box. Especially with Lilith here, you really don't have to stay stuck there. Now, let's talk about the transits. So if you're going through this through your transit, this is a period, a chapter of your life. This is not a forever thing, but it's gonna manifest in ways that is very similar to the natal, where people are gonna try to outcast you. They're not gonna want to support your community that you're building, the community that you want to be in. Maybe they might not want to accept you in that community, and you might not be understood now, but wait till the 9 months is over, and then they're going to be coming to you, and you're going to be the trendsetter that people were making fun of. So it kind of reminds me of like when I was younger. I was watching One Piece when I must have been in 3rd grade at TV, at 4Kids TV. I know people like shade on 4Kids TV, especially with One Piece, but that's what I had at that time. And I remember everyone made fun of me. They were like, oh my gosh, you like watching pirates, that cartoon, that's so lame. And then, I kid you not, maybe it could have been 15 years later. 15 years later, I think. I can't really do the math in my head right now, but everyone's favorite anime right now is One Piece. It's like the poppin', the most coolest, they just didn't know. It's okay. The best way I can describe it is that you're the sleeper. They can't see what the person that's sleeping, like you're dreaming. They're not in your dream yet. I feel like this is not really making sense, but I hope it is. So let's say you're dreaming, you have this really awesome idea, you're dreaming, the imagination's crazy, like oh my gosh, like it's so vivid and so cool, but then people don't know because they don't dream like you do. You're a sleeper. Does that make sense? So there's some people that literally just dream black. Like they think their dream is like for 2 minutes, they don't remember anything, and then that's how it is. For you, is that you actually have dreams, and vivid, crazy ones too. And when you wake up, most people just don't understand the ideas that you have, or what you like, or what you're into, etc., because they just don't know that experience yet. It's dormant, and it's not dormant within you. So you look like the crazy cuckoo one for a second, I'm not gonna lie. I feel like that was a long analogy, I'm so sorry. Yeah, during this transit, I definitely feel like you're not going to want to make friends. You might want to be your own support system when it comes to community for yourself, because I kid you not, I'm here on the internet and sometimes I feel crazy. I feel like I'm talking to someone, but most of the time I feel like I'm just talking to myself. But it's the only way I'm going to channel the living crap out of information that I have. I have so much I want to give out to the internet, but I don't think people are that into it. There's some people that are into it, but sometimes you're not going to be liked, and that's okay. Find your channel, paint, write, do whatever it is that you need to do. In fact, I think in Lemonade, I was going through a really hard time, and I was blogging about princesses, like Disney princesses. I wasn't talking about how pretty, I was like, how to be Mulan, badass, or how to be Princess Belle. And I wrote all like, read books, this, that, and it's crazy because I think I had like maybe 6 likes, and then months later it was like 16,000 likes, and I was like, huh? And I literally thought nothing of it, but I was just channeling things, and I felt dumb. I swear to God, I felt so dumb, because I was like, I'm writing about princesses online on the internet for my leisure time. Like, what kind of life do I have? I have no friends. Like, I have no one to talk to about this kind of stuff. And surprisingly, you end up connecting with people that also feel that. They understand that, but you kind of have to just do your thing in your way at that time. You can't just be like, okay, like me, okay, this, or no, you just have to do your thing. Break away from being liked, because you're going to be disliked during this time. By friends, by community, by work, by anyone. Embrace being disliked, truly, because it's okay. They might be sleeping on you. You're the sleeper. You're dreaming right now. But when you wake up, you're going to realize, whoa, I did a lot of work in that dream. So just keep being, and I hate saying just. It's not that simple sometimes in the face of adversity. All I have to say is that Lilith here is being repressed, and she wants you to empower yourself. If you're a female, there's going to be I'm just going to tell you, there's going to be other females that don't like you because you're pretty. And they're going to be like, I'm not going to support them, screw them. Or you trigger something in them with your authenticity and they hate that. Or anything. If you're a guy, other guys are going to bash on you and be like, bro, you suck. I'm sorry, people who are confident, they're not going to tell other people that. That's just how it works. People who are happy in their life, they're not going to go out of their way to bring down others. That is how it works. So having haters doesn't necessarily mean it's personal. I'm just saying, prepare yourself for hate. Also, prepare yourself for self-sabotage tendencies. Perhaps you are trying to break away from something subconsciously. I think that's what happened with Winona Ryder, with the whole thing of her stealing. I think she was trying to escape from the role of acting and being famous and being seen as something. And quite frankly, even before she was doing all that stuff, I remember people talking smack about her. And I think personally I think it was because she was really cool and really pretty and all this stuff. I do remember, and I forgot to mention, I was reading about her, and she said that she started Beetlejuice. That film became very famous, really cool. But when she went back to school, everyone was making fun of her. They were calling her a witch and like saying all this stuff, and she just was bullied for it. So there's a lot of bully energy. They're going to project things onto you, but low-key, they're just hating. I'm sorry, they're going to be hating on that you're a good-looking person, that you're confident, that you're strong or skillful at something, you're talented. There's something that is magnetic about you, and people get triggered by that energy. So don't let it get to you. Take back your power. And yeah, that's all I have for Lilith right now. I mean, do I have way more for Lilith and the 11th house and all this stuff? Yes, but I talk so much and I don't have that much time, and I don't think you have that much time either. But if this resonates with you, I just want to say that I do understand this. I don't have this placement, but I definitely have experienced the casting out energy, and I actually have this in the 5th house. The axes are there, so I do understand that feeling slightly. But I think in your case, it's heavily with friendships and communities, and also the connections that you have. People just don't want to give you those connections. And don't worry, just keep doing you. I hate saying just, but like, just keep doing you, because you're going to empower other people in ways that you have no idea. You have no freaking idea. And also, I do want to keep in mind, it's not just people hating on you. It's also the dark industry. Perhaps you want to be in a community and then you realize it's darker than you think. So keep that in mind. Okay, I hope this helped. Like and subscribe if you want to see more, and if you have any questions, etc., you can put down in the comments, comment down what your Lilith is, or if you know anyone in this placement. And yeah, love you guys, or you, whoever, and take care. Bye.